Hey everyone, Namaste and welcome to the 19th episode of Yoga Shakti with me, Shailaja Menon, here on Anand Tv. Now, this week we're going to continue with what we began last week, which was the theme of backbends or spinal extensions. The only difference is this week we're going to practice backbends with the back on the floor in a supine position and the chest facing the ceiling. Now we're going to do this through exploring positions like Ustrasan, the camel position, which has a really beautiful expanded chest position. And we're also going to do the bridge pose, which is one of the most popular positions among backbends in yoga, called Setubandha Sarvangasana, or the upward bow, which is Urdu Dhanurasana. So through all of these positions, we're going to explore keeping that chest lifted and expanded like the sky. Yeah, so the invitation is really for us to try to keep the heart space open because what happens is through life experiences, we tend to become, especially the heart space tends to become very closed and very small. Yeah, so they say the biological heart is actually about the size of a fist, but the emotional heart can be even smaller, right? Like a very clenched kind of fist, right? Because when we get hurt or we experience disappointment or some painful experience, right, we tend to hold on. We hold on to the hatred, we hold on to the bitterness, we hold on to the pain, right? A lot of the time, a lot of us are walking around in seething pain, right? And that heart space becomes very, very contracted. So, through these beautiful back bends, the invitation is to really expand the heart like that beautiful, vast, and expansive sky, so that we're able to accept and accommodate everything that comes our way, all the experiences, pleasurable or painful, without becoming small and without becoming closed to the beauty and the magic of life. Yeah, so towards that, let us practice. Namaste. Hey everyone, so let's begin with some shoulder extension work for which I'm going to use a strap. Like I always say, you can always use a towel or a dupatta if you don't have a strap. So I'm just going to lift my arms up and shrug my shoulders before taking the arms back. Right. So the important thing here is to engage your abdomen, right? Because otherwise it won't be shoulder work, it will be the back work. Right. So just remember to engage your abdomen so you're not arching through your back. Inhale, lift the arms up, shrug the shoulders, and take it back. Yeah, so from here, so keep your abdomen well engaged and just slowly work on taking the arms as far back as you can. Yeah, so as you inhale, you just take the arms back. As you exhale, bring it up. Inhale, take the arms back. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, take the arms back. Exhale, bring it up. Try to keep the arms straight without bending at your elbows. And last round, just take it back and just hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Yeah, so this is always nice to begin back bend work with some shoulder work. And then from here, we're going to work a little bit on just opening the heart space as you go back. Yeah, so you can move with your breath here. Just keep your palms in a prayer position. As you inhale, just going back. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round as you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, you can also just place your hands here on your hips and just keep your elbows drawing towards each other so that the chest space remains open. Because if your elbows are going out, then the heart space remains closed. So consciously externally rotating your shoulders, drawing the elbows towards each other as you move the pelvis forward and stay. Slowly rising up and release your hips back towards your heels. Keep the knee out and just folding forward. Yes, you can keep your hands on blocks if you have them. Otherwise, you can release them to the floor. Okay, so the reason you keep your hands on blocks is that it continues with that shoulder extension work. So if you have, you can also keep it on a higher level. Right, slowly rising up. So working into the camel position, for which you can use a block, keep it behind you. Now, usually you keep the block near your ankle, and depending on your flexibility, right? So some people may not need the block, you can even just press your toes down and then just hold your ankle. So just doing what works for you, right? So I'm just going to use a block for this one, and then just move the pelvis forward and lift your left arm up and arch back. Just hold it here, right? So, really feeling that beautiful lift of the heart towards the sky, the pelvis moving forward. Okay, inhale and rising up and working through the other side. As you inhale, lift the arm up and rising up. And now, if you want for the second round, you can try to release your hands towards the heels and lifting up. Coming back up and again. And coming back again. So you can actually just practice this for a few weeks, right? And then only when you feel ready, like you feel like you can get both your arms back, again to help you with this, you can use blocks, right? So you can keep both the blocks behind both the feet near your ankles, right? So as you inhale, just open the chest and then just release your hands to the blocks. Keep the pelvis moving forward, keep the heart space lifting up towards the sky. And as you come up again, lift the heart towards the sky and rising up, right? So when you feel like, okay, you've got this and you can actually go deeper, so you can take the blocks out, work without the blocks, right? So again, just open the chest and then release the hands back. Leading with the heart even as you come up and release down into child pose. Hips going back towards your heels, pelvis flexing deeply, arms releasing forward, lengthening through the spine. So the next position we're going to go in is something called Paryankasan, which is a upper back opener, right? For that, we're going to need either a block, or if you don't have a block, don't fret. You can just use a cushion, right? So you can just keep it. The placement is very important. So you make sure that you place it between your shoulder blades, right? So it's not usually when we place the blocks, it's for the lower back. So it's usually at the lumbar area, but this is higher. Yeah. So try to just angle it properly. So when I lie back, it actually comes between my shoulder blades. So you can see the angle of the position. And then from here, you just release your head back to the floor, right? So you can just adjust a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And then from here, you can just take the strap in your hands, right? So shrug your shoulders, take the arms up. And from here, as you inhale, just take the arms back. Yeah. So it's also a beautiful shoulder extension. So let me just see if I'm still in the screen. Yeah. Okay. So just staying here. Okay, feeling this beautiful expanded state with the rib cage lifted, the heart space open, a beautiful shoulder extension. Okay, and then slowly inhale and rising up and coming up, right? So if you want to get a little bit of height extra, you can just keep the block this way. So you can see as you increase the height, you get a deeper opening, right? So when you lie back, again, just be careful. You may have to spend a couple of seconds here, like adjusting your position, right? Feeling it there between the shoulder blades. And then at whatever point you feel comfortable, just releasing your head back towards the floor. Right? So if you feel like your head is not getting to the floor, you can always use the other block. Yeah. So this is actually a bit more comfortable if you use the other block to support your head. Right. So just going back, supporting your head with the other block, and then inhale, lift the arms up. So really shrug the shoulders, arms going up, and then taking the arms back. Okay. So again, staying here, taking 6 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale, just feeling that beautiful expanded state. Yeah, and then you can slowly release the strap. And if you open the shoulders out this way, that again brings you to that beautiful expanded state. Taking deep breaths here. Okay, and then slowly coming out. So bring your hands down, slowly rising up and coming up. Yeah, so this was for your upper back. Now to work the lower back, one of the most common positions is called the bridge. Yeah, so it's called Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So lying back, so again you can do it with or without blocks. So we'll just start without blocks first. Just place your feet by the floor, bend the knees, and press down through your feet. Yeah, so again here to lift up, you have to really engage your feet, right? So pressing down through the feet, keep the hips rising up, right? So you can really feel your lower back lifting, feel the glutes engaged, right? And then really trying to press down through the feet to keep that upper back rising as well, as much as you can. Yeah, so just we'll be doing this a few times. So just getting comfortable here. And then as you exhale, just slowly lower down. Yeah, so we're going to move 3 times here using momentum. So each time you lift, just try to lift higher. Yeah, so initially it will be, you'll find only maybe your hips rising, then slowly you can feel the middle back, the upper back, all of that lifting. Right, and as you stay, just really press down through the feet and then try to press down through the inner edges of your feet as well, because that'll keep your knees straight. Otherwise, if you press down through the outer edges, the knees tend to go outward. So really sensing your feet, sensing the weight on your feet, trying to engage with the inner line of your feet. And as you exhale, slowly coming down, right? And then this last time, if you want to go deeper, you can actually work through the shoulders as well. So try to externally rotate your shoulders so that you can clasp your fingers, right? So as you inhale and rise up, just move a little bit from side to side and try to get the shoulders to rotate, draw towards each other, right? And then if they're really close, you can even clasp your fingers And you can see that in this position, your upper back lifts off the floor as well. Yeah, so initially it's just your lower back, but as you engage your shoulders, your upper back lifts off as well. Right? Continue to press down through the inner edges of your feet. Continue to feel your glutes engaged, the low back muscles engaged, strengthening all of these muscles. And slowly release the hands, lower the hips, release your upper back, hug the knees to your chest, and gently roll from side to side, relaxing your spine. Yeah, so this just releases your lower back. It's like a little massage that you give your lower back, right? Especially after back pains, it's nice to do this. Now, the same position, we can go a little bit deeper if we use blocks. Yeah, so you can just keep the blocks for your feet, right? Use both the blocks. Place your feet on the blocks. Yeah, and then just bring your hips forward. So the closer your hips are to the blocks, the easier it is for you to lift up, yeah? Or the higher that you can lift. So again, if this is as close as you can come, then just lifting up through the feet, pressing down through the feet, keep the hips rising. So you can notice that here your upper back also quite easily peels off the floor, right? Then you can rotate your shoulders, right? Really feeling that beautiful lift. Again, connecting to the state of the pose, connected to that beautiful, open, expanded state. The chest open, lifting towards the sky. Continuously pressing down. And then if you want a little bit more lift, what you can do is press down through your toes and lift the heels off. So that gives you a bit more height. And slowly release the heels down. Lower your hips down. And hug the knees towards your chest. And just staying here for a bit, gently rolling from side to side. Massage your lower back, easing your lower back. And stay. Okay, so now we're going into another position called Viprita Dandasana. And this actually engages both of these earlier poses. So in the Paryankasana, we worked on the upper back. And in Setubandha Sarvangasana, the bridge position, we worked on the lower back. Yeah, so this one actually, we have to engage both the lower back as well as the upper back lift. Right, so just lying back on the floor and keep your knees bent. Right, so this is like a standard position, right? Try to get your knees and heels in line. Okay, and then from here, you can just take your hands back. So this will be your position for the lift. Right? So this requires a little bit of strength in your upper back, shoulders, and all of that. So if it doesn't happen, don't be too disappointed, but just try. Yeah. So press down through your feet here. Keep your hips rising up. Yeah. So this is very much like the bridge position that we did, right? And then from here, continue to press down and see if you can get the crown of your head on the floor. Right now, if you're here and if you're still feeling comfortable, you can try to get your forearms on the floor. Right, so this is, you know, uh, see if you can keep your fingers interlaced, right? Keep the feet pressing, and as you press down through your feet, feel that chest open, right? And then if you're really comfortable here, you can just lift your head off, right? So this requires a little bit of shoulder opening, which is why we did all of that shoulder opening right from the beginning of the episode, right? So just keep the feet pressing, keep the chest moving towards the wall behind you, head looking back, and just stay. Okay, and then slowly lower down and release the hips down, release the head, and relax your feet. Right? So again, if this was challenging, then just work here for a few times, right? So to activate all of these muscles, the upper body muscles, to get strength there, you have to keep doing it, yeah? So you can repeat it like say 3 times or 5 times, right? Whatever is good for you, and you can feel like you're not suffering and having pain and all of that when you practice. Yeah, so again, I'm just going to do it one more time. Just keep the feet pressing down. Yeah, take your hands behind. So this hand position is important. Yeah, when you take your hands, remember the fingers are facing forward. Yeah, so the hand position is important. You're going this way, and then the fingers face forward. So you need a little bit of mobility in your wrist as well. Then lift the hips up like you would in bridge. Keep the hips rising. Then finally, you need to get some strength to press the hand down and bring the crown of the head to the floor. Yeah, and then if you're still all right, the forearms come down. Usually, you clasp your fingers behind and then you will lift. Yeah, so actually, when you can lift, then there's no pressure on the head. Otherwise, a lot of people feel a lot of pressure on the head. But if you can lift your head off, then that eases the pressure. But keep pressing the feet so that you get that beautiful heart opening position, right? Connect to the state of the pose, the expanded state, the open state of the heart, like the sky. Okay, and then slowly release down. So just put the head down, release the hips down, and hug the knees towards your chest and stay. Okay, and then if this was easy for you, then we're going into another position called Urdu Dhanurasana, right? Which is also that heart open, expanded state. So this is just a little bit more like if you see the asanas that I've been doing, one actually leads to the other, right? So do it in the same sequence because you need to be strong in this position. Like Preeta Dandasana should come quite easily for you to be able to lift into Urdhva Dhanurasana, right? So if this was a challenge, just work here. But if this was quite easy for you, then you can work into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Yeah, so I'll just do it and you can practice on your own. Okay, place the hands behind, fingers pointing in. So similarly, you just work, lift the hips up. But this time you lift up fully. Yeah? You try to get your arms straight, right? So just staying here for a bit, right? So keep the feet pressing. So similarly, keep the chest moving forward, right? So all of this requires really deep shoulder opening. Keep the head going back, right? Just stay here for a few seconds. Okay, and then if you feel really strong, you can bring the head down, right? You can go deeper by walking the hand in. So just take one small step in, right? Lifting up again. Okay, and then slowly lower down. Right? Bring the hips down, bring the head down, right? Hug the knees to your chest and relax your spine. So it's always nice to end the practice with twist, especially if we do back bends, right? So you can just do a very simple twist here. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Take your left hand behind and then twist back. So again, remember, it's not just your shoulder, but it's the whole side of your body that looks back, right? Sense that beautiful energy as you twist. Feel the release in your spine. Okay, and then slowly coming forward, just working the other side. Take your left hand across, take your right arm back, pressing down into the floor, right? Keep that whole right side twisting back. Make sure your chin is parallel to the floor, so you're neither looking up nor looking down, right? Sensitive to your whole body. Your awareness should flow over your whole body. How's your shoulder doing? How's your chin doing? Okay, and then slowly release. So we've come to the end of this episode on again the back bends and really opening the heart and keeping the heart space expanded, right? So all of these positions really embody what we want to be, right? What we want our attitude to be, what we want our energy to be, which is lifted and always rising. Yeah. So if you saw, a lot of the poses were about keeping that heart space open, lifted, right? So let us always be connected to that concept of keeping that heart as expanded as the sky, right? So that we can release all the little hurts and the little disappointments that come along our way, which are inevitable, right? But it's how we deal with it and how we react with it and how long we hold on to it that actually determines the quality of our journey of life, right? So learning to be as vast as the sky and being able to accommodate and absorb all of these little twists and turns and roadblocks that are bound to come our way, right? So that is what the yoga practice is about our perspective, right? That expanded perspective. Namaste.